Live from Allegheny College, Frank B. Fuhrer Field at the Robertson Athletic Complex. This is Allegheny College men's soccer here on Gators TV and Armstrong Cable. Jim Berger happy to be joined alongside by Duane Koller tonight as the Allegheny Gators with a 6-8-2 overall record take on the College of Wooster Fighting Scots. The Fighting Scots 7-6-2 overall. The Gators are still in the hunt for a playoff berth. A lot is possible. It's just 2 games left on the year, but they are very jam-packed in the standings in the NCAC. The Gators with 8 points, Wooster with 10 points, so a win here for Allegheny would prove to be big dividends for the upcoming playoffs, which start next week. Duane, you've taken a look at the stats, you've seen the rosters. What are your thoughts on tonight's action?
Looking forward to a great battle. I was enjoying watching the warm-ups there. Both sides seem to really be really excited about getting going here.
The home finale for Allegheny here at Frank B. Fuhrer Field. After tonight, the Gators will be on the road to take on Kenyon. First place Kenyon this Saturday afternoon. The Kenyon Lords ranked in the top 20 of the national polls, 12-1-2 overall. But before that, we will worry about tonight's contest between the Fighting Scots, coached by Andy Zidron, and the Gators, coached by Angelo Panzetta. Worcester with the very announcer-friendly black jerseys with gold trim and white numbers. Allegheny in the home golds with blue and white trim, blue numbers.
And I brought my binoculars, but I don't need them.
Don't need them tonight. And Worcester will have the ball to start. And we are underway. The Fighting Scots this season, as we said, 3-3-1 in the conference, 7-6-2 overall. They are currently on a 3-game winning streak. They've beaten Denison, Hiram, and Oberlin. The Gators, looking at common opponents, the Gators also defeated Hiram and Oberlin and tied Denison. Max Rochester for the Fighting Scots is the big player on defense. Rochester with 11 points on 4 goals and 3 assists, also has 28 shots, in the first 15 games. Gators, as we said, they're 6-8-2 overall. Their most recent match was Saturday afternoon against Wittenberg. And here's a long ball played ahead for Danny Reed, but it will be scooped up by the keeper. But yes, the Gators were in action on Saturday against Wittenberg in a conference battle, and it ended up being a 0-0 tie after 2 overtimes. Now, you hear that score, you think, boy, that must have been a pretty boring game. But quite the contrary, as Allegheny dominated in shots. They outshot Wittenberg 25-9. They had a number of big scoring chances, a 10-2 advantage in corner kicks, but they just couldn't find a net, but they still did get the valuable point over the Tigers.
I bet the weather wasn't helping much that day because it kicked in pretty good that afternoon.
It really did, yes. In the morning, there's a women's game that started at 12. The weather was windy, but it wasn't bad. But then pretty much as soon as the men took the field, it was raining. There was some freezing rain. It was windy. It was pretty miserable.
There was a threat of rain tonight, but it looks pretty good right now.
Yeah, big full moon in the sky right above us.
Nice cool temperature.
Beautiful flip, your prototypical northwestern PA fall evening. Sion gets bumped off the ball, but he's able to get it back.
Good passing.
The senior forward for the Gators. He's really been in the mix of their offense this season. He's been one of their top players on the offensive side of the ball. Battle for it here near midfield. But Worcester's Xenofontos is able to come out with it, and his team will retain possession. Playing with it in the back, and now a long ball up the sidelines. And there will be a foul. By sportsmanship, as Liam McCursey was bumped off the ball, but he was helped up by the Worcester defender. Allegheny will have the free kick, no score, just underway. Allegheny's home finale. Again, we thank you for joining us both on Gators TV Live and on Armstrong Cable. Jeff Corey, the camera operator tonight in this chilly evening.
And I should add, award-winning producer for a program with the Special Olympics here not too awful long ago.
I heard you also had a big hand in that show as well.
What a thrill it was to be part of that. That was a wonderful event. Yet for many years, that event was hosted here at Robertson Field. And it's since moved over to the fairgrounds. But what a wonderful event that is. And very touching. I was happy to be part of that.
Won the local programming award. That's well done. All of your work on Armstrong is great. We're lucky to have a resource like that in Meadville. The Gators will have the first corner kick of the night. It's sent in on goal, and it's over everyone's head. Typically, they will try to target Liam McCursky, the big 6'5" center back, but it goes over everyone's head, and Wooster will look to control play out of their own zone. Danny Reed took that corner for Allegheny. Reed, the sophomore from Connecticut, Old Lyme, Connecticut. In goal tonight for the Gators is Nick Ferreira, the junior. Ferreira, 53 saves on the year, a sparkling .841 save percentage. He has been very good for Allegheny in the pipes. Just 10 goals against in 11 games. The corner has been pretty much the only real scoring chance here in the opening 5 minutes of play. The two teams just kind of feeling each other out in the middle third of the field. And as I say that, it looks like Worcester's trying to generate some offense. Bouncing ball. No one couldn't corral it just yet.
Just a quick look early in the game here. It looks like pretty evenly matched. A lot of speed on both sides. Good hustle. Both sides good passing.
This Allegheny team is fun to watch. We talked about the big defender McCursky in the back, joined by Harkins and Toma. But their forwards have been quite dynamic this year with the likes of Danny Reed, John Sion, Jacob Lassane off the bench. Nick Taliani, one of their starters, is out tonight with an injury, so we'll see how the Gators will replace him. But Jacob Lassane, who started a number of games early on in the year, is back after injury, so he hopefully will fill the void of the missing Taliani. Carl Pullman, the Gator captain, wearing number 20, tried to kick that one up the sideline, but it goes right to the keeper, Collis. Will Collis, the keeper for Ohio Wesleyan from Columbus, Ohio, a junior and a team captain. Now Allegheny, we've seen that this season, very comfortable passing it in the backfield to set up a play. Now Reed, he won't win the race to the ball in the corner. But I do believe, will that be a corner kick for the Gators? Yes, it will. So Danny Reed sets up for the second corner. And the Gator offense is hustling back. Sends it towards the middle of the box, just over the head of Harkins. McCursky tries the left-footed blast, but it is blocked. But Harkins will track it back down and pass it out to Reed. Reed sends another one in, and that will go by everyone. Not sure if that was an entry pass or a cross, but Wooster lets it go out of bounds on touch, and it will be a goal kick for Collis.
Interesting, McCursky got a pretty good whack at that with his left foot. Just went a little bit wide, but
he has been magic on those set pieces this season. Been a main cog for this Gator squad the last 4 years. Tonight is his last home game. The senior from Massachusetts. And now Reed will try to win another race. This time he does. Marked very closely. And he got shoved down, but no call, and I believe it'll just be a goal kick for Collis. Players may have just had their feet tangled up.
Looks like the wind's coming from west to east right now. that going to help the Gators maybe here in the first half?
Yeah, it always helps to have the wind at your back on a day like today. That was another big factor on Saturday. The wind was swirling all day as well.
Yeah.
It was going one way, north, south, east, west. I mean, it was a crazy day. Punts that we'll normally see go 50, 60 yards off the keeper might not make it to the 40. But then a minute and a half later, the wind's blowing the other way. So it was a very trying time for the offenses for both teams.
It seems like here for the first part of the game, a lot of the action has been in the offensive end for Allegheny.
Yeah, they have had the better of the possession. 2 corner kicks and 2 shots. Pullman, the senior, loses the ball to Xenofontos. Flipped up the corner. Pullman gets a foot on that one and cut off the pass. And now Clydesdale. He tries to battle for 3 defenders, and he does. But his pass won't connect. And Ferreira will charge out of the net to pick that one up. Will that be will be a goal kick as well.
That looked like a box out from basketball to me there.
Hey, yeah, he really used his body there on the in the corner. You kind of see what Allegheny's been trying to do. Some long passes up the flank to connect to their 2 speedy forwards, Reed and Sion. Then the 2 times they did connect resulted in pretty much corner kicks.
The Wooster player there got body position and get it to work his way.
And now Wooster will try that long pass themselves. McCursey will let it go out of bounds and have Ferreira get a rip at it. McCursey up the sideline. And now a long boot up too far for everyone. But again, Reed and Sion were trying to get sprung free for that one. So I like what Allegheny's been trying to do. We've seen in the past couple of games the Gators have gotten bitten on that play, getting called for an offsides. A couple scoring chances thwarted against W&J about 2 weeks back on the offsides with that similar strategy, but it's worked so far.
See, now you said the Gators had gotten bitten on that. Usually Gators are doing the biting, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. That is true. That is true.
Kind of known for that.
Pardon my pun. A nice win by Olan to force Wooster to retreat. And now they will go horizontal. Now they'll try to go vertical. Pass up in the corner, and it connects. BJ Talley got past Clydesdale, but his pass is errant. And now it will be kicked off of the Wooster forward by Harkins, and the Gators will get the throw deep in their own territory. Long boot, Sion. He wears that one. That can't feel good on a cold night like tonight.
It's got to sting a little bit, yeah.
Jorge Olan. Good job to retain possession from the Gators, and Pullman will throw it in right at midfield. Olan, the junior. Goes across the field to Toma. And I think Reed let that one go because I believe if he would have caught up to it before he went out of bounds, it would have been an offside as he got sprung through. A good fight by the Gators. Masucci to force that errant pass, and the ball comes back to Allegheny and McCursey. Ed Mallard, our photographer extraordinaire, on the sideline for the Gators tonight. Lucky to have a resource like him at Allegheny and in Meadville.
I wonder if Ed can catch the ball when it comes flying over there. That looked like that one went right in the equipment bag.
Well, he's been around a lot of baseball in his time. I know that. Soccer ball should be a little easier to catch than a baseball, I would think.
I know, Jim, last time I was here with you, we were commenting on how many of the Allegheny staff were having a hard time catching the ball.
Never can catch it.
Yeah.
A good defensive play by Harkins to cut off the breakaway as Xenofontos looked to have a clear trip to the net, but Harkins thwarted that opportunity. And Masucci was in on that as well, and the Gators get the ball back. It looks like that one is going to stay inbounds somehow. Yeah, Sion will get the throw.
Flipped the field quickly there.
Right, the Gators look to have numbers now. BJ Talley clears it away. And look at the speed. Max Rochester, with that speed, you can see how he is Worcester's leading scorer. He really was able to spring free down the field on that one. But a
good hustle on the Allegheny defense.
Yes, very physical defense by the Gators. But that was primed to be a breakaway. On the far flank to Reed. Reed showing off that fancy footwork. It's fun to watch. And he'll get a rip-on goal, and it goes off the post.
Wow.
I don't think anyone was expecting him to get off such a shot from that angle.
Didn't just nick the post. It came flying back out of there. Wow.
Danny Reed, we've seen him score a couple of highlight goals this year, and that would have definitely been on the list. Whew. But the Gators are still going to try to pin Wooster down here in their defensive zone. And we will see Dylan Toma with the long throw, his patented long throw. Almost works like a corner kick in this situation.
Nice and high.
McCursey got a good head on it, but deflects it over the crossbar. So 2 more very good scoring chances for the Gators here. Allegheny now out shooting Wooster 3-0. And aside from a couple quick spurts, you're right, Dwayne. It has been Allegheny with the bulk of the possession here in the first 15 or so minutes of the game.
Let me grab a taller stool here. I'm having a hard time seeing out the window. There we go.
Now we're on the same level.
Yeah. I like it. Wow, this is quite a view.
Ball out of bounds off of Sion. Gators have had a pretty home-heavy schedule this year. Their 9th game and the friendly confines of Frank B. Fuhrer Field.
Quite a facility here.
New turf that was installed in 2016. And there's a shot and a goal.
Oh, wow, that was quick.
So Wooster takes the 1-0 lead.
Is that number 10?
I believe that was number 10. Manny Burton with the goal. A very quickly developing play. And Wooster with the 1-0 lead with just under 28 minutes to go here in the first half. So Allegheny with all the possession here in the first half, but Wooster takes the lead.
Manny Burton with an assist by number 21, Max Rochester.
Rochester gets credited with the assist. He did a lot of work on that play. He dribbled down towards the goal line, got through a couple defenders, and threaded that ball right to Burton, who put it home with a pretty strong strike. And Wooster takes the 1-goal lead.
It seems like he's involved in an awful lot of the play going on here.
Rochester.
He's right there in the middle of everything, it seems like.
4 assists on the season for Rochester. The junior from Chicago, Illinois.
He just kicked one off the referee. Not that that matters, but
referees in soccer, especially the center ref, they can get in the middle of. They really get in the middle of the action in there, right? It's like being a linesman in the NFL. And they try to spring him again. 1-on-2. And he will retreat. Rochester tried to send one in, but Clydesdale, he'll come out with it. A nice step by Osmain Sai to keep the ball into Worcester's offensive zone. Fighting Scots with the 1-goal lead. That was Burton's 4th goal of the year, so now he is tied with Rochester for the team lead. Burton, the junior from Carnegie, Pennsylvania, so
how about that?
A local. Now the Gators will have a free kick from about 35 yards out. And we have seen Owen Harkins, number 14 for Allegheny, bury 2 opportunities from the same location on the field. The game winner at Hiram in overtime, he buried a kick from here, and then in the Gators' last win over Oberlin. So Harkins will put this one strong on goal. From 33 yards. Oh, it's punched out away by the keeper. Wasn't able to get the height on that one. Collis punched it out, but you can see the velocity on that shot getting through the wall. It really got in on Collis pretty quickly.
If he'd have tried to grab that one, he might not have been able to handle it. That punch maneuver, I don't remember ever seeing that before. That was
might be some self-preservation as well. Harkins really puts a blast on that one. And my sister just sent me a tweet. She's the teacher. She's the smart one in the Berger family. She's told me Happy Mole Day since it is 10/23. A scientific joke, I guess.
What's that mean?
Well, a mole is a measurement in science. 6.02 times 10 to the 23rd. Okay. Today is 10 to the 23rd. Okay. There are actually 2 mole days in a given year. There's June 2nd and there's October 23rd. So I'm not sure if she's listening, but thank you, Sarah, if you are.
Here, and I thought you were talking about the biology thing, the whole mammal.
Oh, a little critter? Nah.
The ones that keep digging holes in my yard.
Yeah, my mom, I know. Yeah. My mom is not happy in the garden. Oh, that's quite a boot.
Booming kick.
Wow. McCursey does win it to Masucci. Masucci, the junior center midfielder for the Gators from Peters Township, Pennsylvania, high school teammate, of John Sion, same hometown.
Now the wind's calmed down a little bit, but that went 60-plus yards against the wind.
I wonder if Wooster football coach Frank Colaprete knows he has a boot like that. Owen Harkins of the Gators sophomore defender, is an emergency kicker on the Allegheny football team. He played in a couple games last year. He's fun to watch because on his kickoffs, he actually got the tackle twice. He chased the guy down and tackled him. So an aggressive defensive soccer mentality went onto the football field.
That would be an exciting multi-sport weekend there sometime.
Yeah. Offsides for Allegheny as Sion broke free. First offsides for either team here. And we are exactly midway through the first half. 22:30 left. 1-0 Wooster with the goal and 17 minutes in. But other than that, it's pretty much been all Allegheny in the possession. Gators 4-1 in shots. Gators 3 corner kicks. Wooster none. Long centering attempt. Harkins cleans it up. It was a good job by Wooster's Caleb Kane to get rid of that one when he did, but the pass was a little too far for Manny Burton on the far side. Halfway through the half, still no substitutes. The original starting 11 are out for each team. And that one is thrown out of bounds. And we'll come back to the Gators. Reed's waiting for it, but so were 3 Wooster defenders. But the Gators keep the possession. It's a nice defensive play. I believe that is Montalbano, excuse me. Long names on this Wooster roster.
There's a lot of I agree.
Allegheny, you have Sion and Reed and Diaz. Pretty easy, but then you have Wooster. Fancy footwork from Xenofontos. And he'll dish it off to Rochester. Rochester will get a rip from the middle of the field, but it's blocked by the Gators. Rebound attempt sails high.
That one had some steam on it, too.
It did. You see Rochester is definitely the go-to target here for Wooster on offense. He got rid of that ball quickly. That's just the second shot from the Fighting Scots. The first was the goal by Burton in the 17th minute. Pass just too far. And it looks like we will have our first sub for Allegheny. I believe that is Eric Orta. He will replace Clydesdale. Orta will move up top. Sion will move on the far side. Orta, the senior from Illinois, Urbana, Illinois. He was honored at the Gators Senior Day on Saturday.
Entering the pitch for your Gators, number 26, Eric Orta.
Playing in his last home match of his career.
It's got to be, I don't know, an emotional thing or a motivational thing or something.
Yeah, probably a little of both, I would think. And it looks like it is starting to rain here at Frank B. Fuhrer Field, with the moon still shining brightly. Allegheny is no stranger to playing in the rain. Not the most ideal fall for the outdoor sports enthusiast.
Yeah, you're right. It's coming down pretty good. When you look up towards the light, you can see it pretty steady.
That will be a Wooster throw from right at midfield, it looks like. That is Sy throwing it in. Rochester's going to try to work his magic through 2 defenders, but Masucci able to kick it out of bounds. Rochester and the Scots will retain possession. Setting his offense up as we are now at 18 minutes left in the first half. I think he's planning for a long one. Oh, yeah. Tremendous throw, but kick to safety. And now Reed will look to set up the Gator offense. Play it back to his captain, Pullman. Up to Masucci. Tried to spring Orta. Gets through everyone. But I believe, did Orta draw a foul? Yes, he did. He may have been held up, which is why I was unable to get to that one. So another free kick for the Gators. This one from a little.
Like that rain is starting to come in waves right now.
All right, and the wind has picked up very much, and it is at the Gators' back here. So I wonder if that will play any effect into the free kick here from Harkins from 40 yards. He sends it in. Oh, and McCursey couldn't connect.
Close, very close.
A great play set up by the Gators as the keeper, Collis, was caught out of the cage, but just a little too far for McCursey there on the doorstep. 1-0 the score. Again, we thank you for joining us. Jim Berger and Duane Koller here on Gators TV and Armstrong Cable. And now it is, I would say it is
really
pouring right
down
now. Yes. Easy for us to say. We're in the heated press box.
We'll take it.
Rochester looking to create something again.
I see a lot of umbrellas popping up down there, Jim.
Oh, yeah. And again, like I said, it's not the first time it has rained on the Gators this year. It has been a pretty messy season for them weather-wise.
A few of the spectators going out to the car looked like they get the umbrella. They forgot to bring it in.
It was so beautiful, though, right before game. Sun was out, beautiful sunset. Big
Gorgeous
moon.
sunset today.
Harvest moon, I believe.
That moon's still there. Just can't see it now because of all the rain.
Right, it's somewhere up there. Foul is called in the offensive zone on Wooster. Long kick from McCursey. Looked ahead. Yeah, there was a collision, yeah. And they're going to stop the clock. An injury on the field as the two players collided.
A lot of activity using your head in soccer. And
that's, yeah.
So sometimes a head colliding with the ball is not too bad, but something colliding with something else.
Colliding with the opponent, right.
Not too good.
Right. And that's Johnny Sion. He will walk off. Good sight to see. Doesn't look to be too worse for the wear. He shakes the cobwebs off and will trot off the field with Allegheny athletic trainer Hannah Jasienski.
Added a few seconds back on the clock. 15:29, it says, with the injury.
So Sion is off. He will be tended to by Hannah. It's good to see him walk off under his own power.
He's looking pretty steady, not like any kind of a concussion or whatever. I wonder if he got
entering the pitch for your Gators, number 29.
a laceration or something like that. Hope not. Hope not.
Alex Reel will come in to replace Sion. Reel, the freshman from Bethesda, Maryland. Seen a lot of action, especially here in the second half of the season. Shook off some injuries early on. I know Coach Panzetta has some very high hopes for Reel. Masucci loses his footing. But Pullman, good job by Pullman to let that ball get kicked out of bounds by Xenofontos. I think Pullman was going for it, but the last second he leaped over Xenofontos, and the Gators will retain possession. It's got to be tough to do on the turf right now, which I'm sure has gotten pretty slick.
Yeah.
Good job by Harkins, the last line of defense to cut off that long pass. But the Fighting Scots still looking to attack. Rochester went for it, but instead it will come on to this side. To Xenofontos now. In the back to, is that Connor Hawkins, I believe. So after the first 25 or so minutes, the Gators had a lot of possession. It's been a lot of Wooster ever since that first Harkins free kick. The Gators haven't really been able to set up much offense. Masucci will be called for the foul on Rochester on the far side, and this is could be a dangerous spot for a free kick for the Fighting Scots. Gators set up the wall. Free kick from about 38 yards. A lot of jostling led to that foul. It's kicked, and it goes to the Gator defense. Olan tries to clear it out. Now Olan hustles out, and he will give the Gators some space. Trip from behind, right in front of us. The foul is on Stephen White.
That one was pretty clear.
Oh, no, excuse me. That was number 18, Wilson Frege. As big as these numbers are, these old eyes are still... A long free kick from Harkins, and that's on target. Wow.
Really well done.
That one was from about 70 yards out, and Collis comes out of his line to smother it. But
no, he didn't punch it away that time. He grabbed that one.
Looked like
probably a good thing because he had a lot of the guys right in his face.
Yeah, a lot of traffic right there on the doorstep. Opelka tries to send it up, and I believe, that will be a Gator ball. Yep. A couple more subs here for Allegheny.
Entering for your Gators, number 9, Jordan Wilson.
Jordan Wilson will enter at midfield.
16, Christian Snyder.
And Christian Snyder at forward for the Gators. Wilson, a sophomore from Durham, North Carolina, and Snyder, the sophomore from Medina, New York. And I believe it will be Opelka to take this corner kick. Again, you'd think that it'd be looking for either Harkins or McCursey there on the doorstep. He sends a low one in, and it's headed back out.
Just right at the very edge there and slipped away.
Yeah, tough one. You wonder if the wet ball or the wet turf may have caused that. Opelka tried to trap that one before it went over the end line, but that will be another goal kick for Will Collis with just over 11 minutes left here in the first half. Collis with the left-footed kick. That also has to be very harrowing, I would think, Duane. The goal kicked right to the middle of the field. You
got a lot of people diving the head first.
Yeah, a lot of body parts, a lot of heads and knees and elbows. Haven't played much soccer in my time, but that always amazed me watching those. That's how physical those get.
Being from Meadville, soccer came along, I think, when I was in the senior in high school. I think is when soccer started in Meadville. And there wasn't youth league and all that kind of stuff. It was more traditional basketball, football, all that stuff back in the day. Hockey came along even after that.
Harkins
right in front again.
And again, Collis not afraid to come off his line and come way out of the cage, about 15 yards out of the cage to catch that one as Orta and Snyder were both right in on him. I guess it's kind of like a punt returner making that fair catch in front of, you got 4 defenders screaming down on you. Nifty footwork by Rochester. Can't connect the pass, though. He's very impressive here early on. He has the assist on the first goal from the Fighting Scots, scored by Burton a little under 20 minutes into the match. Now we're under 10 minutes left in the first half. Another long boot.
You see more body positioning going on there. Interesting.
You made a very
Box
good.
out.
Yeah, you made a very good analogy early on that ball that was out of bounds on the end line. It was exactly like a box out in basketball.
Just looked like another one going on there. Oh,
A quick strike, a left-footed goal into the top left-hand corner. Very rapidly developing play.
Fighting Scots goal by number 30, Andreas Xenofonto.
It was Xenofontos. Kind of corralled the bouncing ball at midfield and got off the left-footed strike. And Ferreira did everything he could in goal. That was just perfectly placed. You couldn't put it in a better spot.
Number 4, Taylor Diaz, and number 15, Travis Luxbacher.
So that makes the score 2-0 Wooster here with 9 minutes left in the first half.
seems like Allegheny's putting under pressure. And Wooster goes down and bang, bang.
Two very, on a play like that, I mean, it was set up so harmlessly, it seemed. Bouncing ball in the middle of the field, and all of a sudden, boom. So the Fighting Scots take the 2-0 lead.
Well, on the positive side, the rain has subsided here.
It has. Allegheny still with a 5-3 advantage in shots. Harkins will chase it down. I think the players and the coaches are calling for a handball on that one as Orta scrambled after it, but nifty footwork by Rochester to keep that one in. But Luxbacher just into the game. Maintains possession. Travis Luxbacher, the sophomore from Upper St. Clair, Pennsylvania. His father was the longtime head coach at the University of Pittsburgh.
Wow.
So I think there are some bloodlines there. And looks like another sub for Allegheny. A long throw, set it up. Back to Harkins, Toma. O-line got in the way of that one to prevent it from getting sent deep into the defensive zone, but knocks out of bounds, and Wooster will retain possession with 7 minutes to go in the first half. 2-0, the Fighting Scots lead. Goals by Burton and Xenofontos. A throw in from right in front of the Wooster bench. Trying to spring the forward down the far flank. And he comes out with it. And there's a rip from Burton again. It's blocked away out of bounds. And it looks like that will give Wooster the first corner kick of the night.
Looks like Xenofontos is going over to take that kick.
A left foot
for the Fighting Scots, number 7, Paulo Nunez. And entering for your Allegheny Gators, number 12, Rory Simpson.
Very nice corner kick, and it's headed right off the crossbar, right over the crossbar.
Wow.
That was a beautifully placed ball right there on the doorstep. And it looked like the Gator defenders had pretty good position there. As McCursey leaped, he was right there, but off the head of the Fighting Scot and out of bounds, and the Gators will try to get some offense here in the final 5.5 minutes of this first half. I believe that was Paulo Nunez who got the head on that ball and sent it over the crossbar. He was just into this game.
Looks like the Fighting Scots are kind of what I'd categorize as a quick strike kind of a team.
Yeah, not a lot of long possessions. But Allegheny's had the ball for probably the majority of the game, but yeah, Wooster, the 2 goals, two very quick boom, boom. Fighting Scots are averaging a goal and a half per game. It's a long ball onto Collis again. Go to the ground to smother it. But Wooster defense allowing just 1.07 goals per game. We've only given up 16 goals in 15 games.
Wow.
Fighting Scots 7-6-2, 3-3-1, as we said, on a 3-game winning streak. They started 0-3-1 in conference play, but now they've jumped up to the standings and are a point out of playoff contention since that winning streak started.
Allegheny controls that ball.
Rory Simpson just into the game. Now to Olan. Now low retreat into the backfield. Gators very experienced on defense in the back line, very confident in their ball handling back there. And McCursey gets bumped out of the air. The foul will be called on the Fighting Scots. That was Nunez.
When your feet are off the ground, it's easy to get you moved, I guess.
Yeah, it really is.
Pretty obvious on that one.
And a bit of a height disparity there as well. McCursey, the 6'5" senior, actually very good at basketball for what I've heard. He's one of the top basketball players in the intramural circuit at Allegheny College. I know the Gator men's soccer team has been very strong in the intramural circuit. 3 minutes to go now in the first half. Taylor Diaz into the game, chases that one down on the far sideline. Burton tried to go to the middle of the field with it, loses the footing of it, gets cleared up. Throw in for the Fighting Scots. Max Rochester will throw it in just from the end of the Allegheny bench.
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
Headed away by McCursey. Right to Connor Hawkins, who will go across the field with it to Rochester. Tackled away. And Wooster's just kind of matriculating down the field with the throw-ins. Gets through, and it'll be offsides. Nunez sprung past the Gator defense. He got past Luxbacher on the back line.
Looked like a little bit of frustration on his behalf there.
So now with 1:49 to go, Gators again trying for some offense. They've had their share of offense. They just couldn't connect on the scoring chances. Snyder will just run out of territory to chase that one down.
Sometimes that ball takes a bounce in your behalf, and sometimes it goes the other direction. Maybe things will turn around here. Minute 19 to go in the first half.
Yeah, still a lot of soccer left. 46 minutes. Gators no stranger to overtime. They've played in extra time 5 games this year so far. So our camera operator Jeff Coy will probably get paid overtime himself if this game goes into overtime. He's nodding. I think I was right.
Overtime.
That ball will come back to Wooster now with 40 seconds to go. So we'll probably try one last rush up the field here, one last possession. But the Gators will cut it off. Harkins in the middle of the field with 30 seconds left. Sent through. Orta couldn't corral it. And now it just booted down the field. McCursey cuts off Nunez.
Really good defensive play there.
Yeah, it seemed like Ferreira was coming out to charge that one and changed his mind real quick. Had to sprint back to the cage, but McCursey was able to keep that one away. 3 seconds left. 2-1. And that's the first half. Wooster on 2 goals in the middle stages of the first half. We'll take a 2-0 lead into the break. We'll be back just before halftime is over just before the start of the second half with some first half stats. Back for the second half, men's soccer action here on Gators TV and Armstrong Cable. Allegheny and Wooster. Wooster with the 2-0 halftime lead. Dwayne, I know we talked a lot about it. It seemed like Allegheny had all the possession and Wooster had all the goals.
Interesting how that works. It seemed like the ball was in the offensive zone for Allegheny the majority of the time, the vast majority of the time. But boy, does those fighting Scots work fast.
Looking at the stats, the Gators had a 6-5 advantage in shots. The 2 goals in the 17th minute scored by Manny Burton, assisted by Max Rochester. And in the 35th minute, Andreas Xenofontes, assisted by Manny Burton. So Burton had a hand on both goals here in the first half for the Scots.
I did a little scouting run here at halftime and got to see both teams coming out of their locker rooms. And just now the rain started up again, and they looked okay, but probably not the most comfortable situation ever. It's temperatures probably in the mid to maybe upper 40s, and now the rain's kicking back again.
It seemed like the rain kicked up as soon as they walked onto the field out of the locker room. Nick Ferreira for the Gators in goal. The 2 goals were not his fault either. The one by Manny Burton was just a bang-bang play right in front, and then Xenofontes sent a rocket from about 10 yards out in the upper corner. Ferreira did everything he could.
Looks like Wooster's going to get a corner kick here.
Yeah, first corner kick of the half for either team. Wooster only had 1 in the first half. Allegheny had 3.
Number 10. With the left foot.
Yeah, that's Burton.
Went right past everybody.
And Burton had that great corner kick chance at the end of the first half. He put it right on the doorstep. So Ferreira with the goal kick, just about 2 minutes into the second half. Gators home finale of the 2018 season. Again, Allegheny will wrap up their regular season on Saturday at first place Kenyon. The Gators, with the result here, a win, even a tie, would still keep them in the hunt to make the 4-team NCAC tournament. They have their work cut out for them in the second half against what has been a very stout defensive team from Wooster.
I thought the wind was going to be helping Allegheny in the first half, and now it's working against them.
It's blown in the same direction. Yeah?
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, the rain is blowing. As you said, mid-40s.
Kind of coming down in sheets.
It really is. Just the latest in a crazy almost winter, crazy fall here in Meadville, Pennsylvania.
When I was with you here a couple weeks ago, it was 80 degrees. And then it went to 40-something the next, a couple days later, and just a crazy year.
Like my mom always said, that's how people get sick. Allegheny was their first real possession here in the second half, but Masucci can't connect the pass. Back to Harkins up on the sideline. Set in, but Collis pick it up untouched for Wooster. The big left footer. He's had some long boots in the first half. I'm sure he's now he's gonna pick it up. As Danny Reed applied some token pressure there.
That ball flew a long ways.
It really did. Off the big head of 6'5" Liam McCursey in the middle. Another interesting note about McCursey, he also was a practice player. He practiced with the women's basketball team. So you're allowed to have men practice players once a week. And Liam and a couple of his teammates last year, Bryce Evans and Isaac Miller, they have since graduated, but they were the male practice players against Coach Kate Costanzo's women's basketball team once a week.
I bet that really helps the ladies with having a big body to battle against.
Yep, the size, the speed. I think they think it was very beneficial, I think.
Good job clearing that out.
Sent right back in, but right to Ferreira. That's a nice toss. John Sion back on the pitch. We saw him leave for a moment in the first half, but he is back over on the far side. Gators moving right to left on your screen, and the sharp bright golds with the blue trim.
Looks like the rain's slowing down, not totally stopped, but maybe it's going to stop again here.
I'm sure the players hope it will.
The wind has calmed down.
Sent to the middle. Masucci may have flicked it, and Pullman will send it down towards the corner. Olan loses his footing. A nice tackle by Manny Burton. Burton, he's figured in on 2 goals, and now he's back playing defense. He really plays a full 110-yard game for the Scots.
Ball just trickled over the line. The benefit for Allegheny.
Masucci to the middle of the field to Jorge Olan, and now they will reverse it onto the far side. Harkins. He was marked closely by Lewandowski, but he's able to get the pass through. Kersey will send it in, and that will be tracked down by Cullis. I am impressed here by this Wooster defense. The Gators have a lot of possession, but how many real scoring chances have they had? Wooster's done a good job of keeping them away from the net. The Gators have had a couple of looks from farther out, a couple of set pieces, but no real dangerous scoring chances in close. And now we'll try it. It's a nice flick, but was unable to connect from Sion to Reed.
The only one I can think of was in that first half, that one that rang off the goalpost.
Right. And that was a very quickly developing play, too. I think that one by Danny Reed really caught a lot of Worcester's defenders off guard. Some lovely passing here from Wooster. As soon as I say that, they pass it off
right
the Gator
bounds.
defender. Now Dylan Toma slips it to the middle of the field. And it's sent back into Ferreira.
He doesn't waste any time getting that ball back in the action.
Tried to spring Reed up the sideline again. We saw them try that a couple times in the first half. Reed had a step on the defender, but it goes too far as McCursey sent that one a long way up the sideline.
I wonder when you have a wet turf if that ball wants to skid a little bit, and maybe one that would have normally bounced and had a chance just kind of skipped away.
Middle of the field, Olan with room. Send it on the far side. Clydesdale can't catch up with it, but it's kicked out of bounds. Just shy of the corner flag, so it will be a throw. I believe it will be Dylan Toma will take the throw, and we've seen him send a couple of them in pretty far into the box, and I could see him setting up for another one. He's really giving himself a head start. He's about 30 yards off the sideline.
This almost looks like a basketball game right now. Everybody's got, okay, who's covering who? Who's covering, yeah.
A lot of jostling in the paint. And it gets loose, but Collis dives on top of it.
Wow.
John Sion was right there waiting for it, but Koller pounced on it in the nick of time.
Ouch.
The clock is getting stopped. They're presenting a yellow card. To Owen Harkins. I'm not sure.
It looked like it hit him in the chest to me. But
yeah, maybe they intentional handball is my only guess. You don't really the play happened so fast. I mean, he was coming back in transition. It was almost as if the ball was kicked into his hand more than the other way around. But Harkins with the yellow, and that will set up a free kick from Wooster from about 40 yards out. Looks like Max Rochester, the big gun here for the Scots, will take it, and he'll put it towards goal. But it goes out of bounds harmless. So the Gators avert some potential disaster on that one. And there will be a substitution for the Fighting Scots. Rochester will come out. And is at number 30. Xenofontos is in. He had a very strong first half. He was impressive for the Scots.
Looks like the rain has stopped now. We'll see what impact that has.
Andreas Xenofontos, the sophomore from Cyprus. Allegheny coach Angelo Panzetta imploring his team to come on, hurry up the field.
Scots, number 20, Will Yakubik.
Oh, excuse me, that was number 20, not number 30 in for the Scots, Will Yakubik. But Xenofontos had a good first half too. Ball at midfield, 33:55 to go here in regulation. Allegheny trailing 2-0 over Wooster. The Scots scored 2 goals in a span of about 15 minutes in the first half. The Gators haven't been really able to muster much offense since. Neither team really has. A lot of empty possessions. Sion bumped off of it, but he sends it down deep. And will that be a corner? Yes, it will. Corner kick for Allegheny. Danny Reed will go take it. It's a good play by Carl Pullman to keep that ball.
One more time, the man-to-man coverage here.
This one's low. Harkins got a foot on it. Still loose in the box.
Good chance there.
Yeah, Olan will track it down. He'll send one into the middle. But now Wooster will look to attack. And they have speed. Good job by Olan to catch up with Wooster's Frege. But the Fighting Scots are able to keep possession, and they will look to set it up here in the offensive end. Clear out of bounds by Harkins, but it will be thrown in by Sy. Down into the corner, tracked down by Burton. And won nicely.
Nice defense, boy.
That really was a picture-perfect tackle and strip. But it comes back to the Fighting Scots. A couple more quick passes. Olan got its leg on there one more time, then knocked it out of bounds, and that'll be a goal kick for Ferreira. Substitution into the game for the Gators. I believe it is number 11, Keegan Cassidy.
Entering the pitch for your Gators, number 29, Alex Reel.
Well, I was way off. Number 29, Alex Reel.
He's got the ball.
Saw some action in the closing minutes of the first half. The rookie from Maryland. Now Sion mixing up with it on the far sideline. And Reed will come out, Olan will come out of the mix with it. One. Kicked away by the Wooster defender. No. Yes, I thought the throw was going to go to Wooster, but no, Allegheny will have possession in the throw-in. And they'll give it to Toma, who will set up for another long one. Seen a couple dangerous situations in the box for Allegheny here in the last couple of minutes. The ball's just not able to be put home, but the Gators have had their chances off of pieces like this. Long throw. Headed away. Harkins tries to track it down. Still going after it. And it will go to Wooster on the goal kick.
When you think about different sports, you don't necessarily think of soccer as being one where jumping ability is going to be a big play. But boy, plays like that.
Entering the pitch for the Fighting Scots. Number 20.
Right, the Wooster man was the winner of that jump ball.
Yeah, it's always again, that's what makes McCursey one of the reasons he's so dangerous with that 6'5" frame. He's a big target in there on those throws and on the corner kicks. And again, the leaping ability has to help leaps and bounds, pardon the pun.
Yeah, right.
At midfield. at those midfield 50-50 balls off the keeper's foot. Ferreira rolls it to Toma. Up the sideline. Olan. Into the middle. Now up to Reed. Back into the middle. Real. Able to keep possession. Dribbling down into the corner, and I believe will that be a corner kick? That'll be close. No, they're going to say a goal kick.
Oh.
We got tangled up with it. Wasn't able to tell who touched it last, but the official said it did go off of Rio in the corner. It was a good defensive tackle by number 22, Osmain Sai. But the Gators will have, will it be a corner or a throw? It will be a throw from the corner. Thomas setting up for another long one. It's headed away out of bounds, and now that will be a corner, I believe. As Toma and Reed will trade places. Reed sets up for the right footer.
A lot of movement just before the play.
Still in the air. Collis tried to punch it out. He's still out of the cage.
That goalie was way out. Wow.
I'm sure some tense moments there for Collis, the keeper, when he came out and was unable to corral it. And the Gators will be able to generate a possession off of this. But Collis very composed. Got back into the cage. Set in. And now Olan thought he was going to take a rip, but he will be called for a foul as he got tangled up, and the ball will come back to Wooster with 27:20 left to play.
That's a pretty good battle there.
It really was. It was fun, a fun possession to watch for the Gators. Collis with another long boot. Go out of bounds. I'm going to say it was, off the Wooster player. No, it was off of Pullman now. A couple more subs are getting ready to check in for Allegheny. That'll be on the next ball out of bounds off of Wooster. The subs will come in.
For the Fighting Scots, number 3, Zacharias Andreo.
Into the game for Wooster is Zacharias Andreo from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, the junior midfielder. Very heads-up play by Andreo into the game to cut off that pass, but
He's from Wisconsin. He's probably used to weather like this.
this is warm for him, yeah. condolences to his Brewers.
Well, they had a pretty good season.
They did. They came on in that month of September. I still can't get over the fact that the Pirates are something like 13-5 against them this year. 0-1 will send it down. Reed can't catch up with it as Collis snares it.
Didn't dive on that one. 2 hands.
You know, it looked like Wooster's the defender there really shielded Reed from getting to that ball. He couldn't really take a direct route to it, allowing Collis to come out and snag that without any traffic. Real up the sideline. Keeps possession, now drops it back. Toma crosses the field to Masucci. And the subs for the Gators.
Now entering the pitch for your Gators, number 7, John
Sion back into the game.
Number 15, Travis Luxbacher.
As there's Luxbacher.
Number 26, Eric Orta.
And Eric
Number
Orta.
33, Jacob Lassay.
And Jacob Lassane, the Meadville product, seeing his first action of the night. He's been sidelined with an injury for the past couple of weeks, but he is back in action and cleared. Lassane, the speedy forward. A nice ball to Real. But again, the Gators just couldn't get a crack off of it. Valiant effort to try to save that one going out, but it's all for naught.
On the substitution for the Gators. Now on the pitch, number 16, Christian Snyder.
And Christian Snyder also into the game for the Gators up top. Sent through. Nope. Nice directional head there by McCursey to get it over to his teammate Toma. And Orta will control it. And the Gators will again look to set something up. Sent through. Snyder may have flicked it on, but it's knocked away. And now a rip from way out from McCursey is blocked. Real will chip it into the goal, and Collis will make the catch.
Interesting, got that one right into his body. Brought that one in. Looked like a tight end, not a wide receiver on that one.
And Real, I believe, was going for Lassane, who was making the streak to the net, but Collis cut him off and made the reception. Lassane giving chase again, but Collis will scoop it up right in front of him. Lassane, a prolific scorer at Meadville High School.
I think I remember covering a game with him scoring one.
He was an all-region selection for the Bulldogs the last couple of years. Toma with a risky pass in the middle of the field. It was picked off. Now Jordan Wilson will give chase. Wilson, another one of the faster players on this Gators team. Set up right in the middle, a nice move and great
Good
tackle.
Defense.
Yes.
Wow. Good job.
Burton was ready to tee that one up from 15 yards, but Jorge Olan saves the day from behind. Kursky chips it up, and it doesn't get through. He had Lassane waiting for that pass. .21:30 left. Allegheny still trails 2-0. Gators home finale of the 2018 season.
Pitch for the Fighting Scots, number 21, Max Rochester.
Rochester now back into the game after getting about a 15-minute blow for Wooster. So you think he'll be in here for the final 20 minutes. Dynamic offensive player
He seems
for the
to be an
Scots.
impact player.
Olan will float it forward to Lassane, but the same thing. Collis will come out, scoop it up. Gators just can't get those forwards through in time. Yeah, a foul was called on Allegheny. And that will set up a free kick from about 30 yards out. Closer to 40. Sent in on goal. Headed away by Harkins. And that will set up a corner, but a good play by Owen.
That was a good opportunity for Wooster there, and snuck right through there.
Yeah, that was a great ball by number 21.
Now entering the pitch for the Fighting Scots.
No, that wasn't Rochester. I think that was Freegee, but that was a great ball to really set up a scoring chance. Knocked away by Harkins.
Up and over. Good save.
Great save by Ferreira, as I think that ball may have curved into the goal had he not touched it. So that will set up a corner on the opposite side of the field, and Rochester will take this one. It was B.J. Talley on the first corner. Textbook play.
Wow. Number 8.
Yep. Alex Montalbano makes it 3-0 in favor of the Fighting Scots. Just a textbook play off the corner kick. It's a great service from Rochester, and that's how you draw it up in practice.
We talked before about the jumping plays. Boy, he just timed it perfectly.
That was a perfectly placed ball, perfectly placed jump. The Gators had defense in there, but Montalbano was able to get his head on it, and the Fighting Scots are now up 3-0 with 19:15 left to play. So now the Gators are really going to have to get something going. They've had a lot of possession, but not a lot of shots. The Gators just one shot here in the first 27 minutes of the second half. And they will get a corner here. So this is a place to possibly start a rally.
The box out didn't work that time.
I believe that is Olan setting up to take the corner kick. Puts it the goal. Over the keeper, headed in by McCursey, and a great save by Collis. Almost a exact replica of the Wooster goal just moments ago.
He got the pounce on that one, though. He got there quickly.
That went right to McCursey. He was waiting on the doorstep, but yeah, heads up play by Collis to keep the shutout intact.
Slow to get up. Number 6 for Wooster. Max Hill.
And it was a foul on the Gators. Nope. They'll just play it back after the injury. Good act of sportsmanship. Just 3 more subs are waiting to come in for the Gators. They're going to have to make something happen here with 17:30 left. Wilson, swarmed by Wooster defenders.
Certainly the intensity hasn't slowed down here, even getting later in the game.
It has not. Hold on, gets it up the sideline. Rio is through. Stops towards the middle of the field. Orta can't catch up to it. Toma got to it, but was unable to keep it in bounds. So now inside 17 minutes left. Nice win on the head ball by McCursey. Off the sideline, ball will come back to Allegheny, and now the 3 subs will come in. Looks like Sion.
Number 3,
Danny Reed.
Number 6, Eddie Opalco.
Number
7, John Sion.
Will be the sub. So pretty much the bulk of the starting lineup is back out there. Lassane is in the middle. So a very fast front trio for the Gators at forward in Lassane, Sion, and Danny Reed. Coach Panzetto looking to turn up the offense here with 16 minutes to go. Eddie Opalco also very good at creating offense for the Gators. So a lot of speed on the turf for Allegheny at this moment. Gators 2018 home finale. Allegheny looking to stay alive in the NCAC playoff hunt, where Wooster's looking for its 4th straight victory.
Good battle there.
Harkins just kicks it out of bounds to cut off the potential breakaway from Burton, who has had a big game tonight for the Fighting Scots.
A little slow getting up. He looks like he's favoring his left leg a little bit.
Yeah, Harkins.
He's right back in the action, though.
Yeah, he is a football player. Part-time.
Part-time.
And this Worcester defense is really swarming on Allegheny. Really very high ball pressures. Rochester picks off the pass. He'll lead it up to Burton. Burton in the corner. He will look to center it, but he gets the corner kick instead as he just bangs it off of Harkins, who is still noticeably limping a bit, as he will retreat to play defense and goal on this corner attempt.
He's hanging in there, but you can tell he's got a sore left leg.
BJ Talley will take the corner for Wooster. Same kind of play as last time, but
save.
Ferreira will make the save.
Right place, right time.
Yeah, big save for Ferreira. The Gators will draw a foul and will do a quick free kick. Looking to catch this Worcester defense off guard. They've been unable to solve this Fighting Scott back line through the first 75 minutes of play. Now another substitution for Allegheny, as Rio will come off, and I think that's Matt Masucci coming onto the pitch.
Now entering the pitch for your Gators, number 10, Matt Masucci.
13-13 to go. Gators looking to make some late magic happen. Sion will throw it. Gets it into Opalco, but then cleared away. McCursey looks to win the race. A lot of pressure on him from Worcester's Max Hill, but able to retreat it back to Ferreira, now up the far flank.
That's great hustle.
It seems this Worcester defense, especially in the second half, just seems to be cutting everything off. They're, a half step ahead of Allegheny.
Two very different halves here.
Gators shy for that long through ball. Again, it was thwarted. Sion hasn't had much room to operate.
Seemed like the Gators were spending a lot of time in the offensive zone in the first half, but not nearly as much here in the second half.
Have been forced to play a lot of defense. And now Worcester try to go on the attack again, but Masucci will calm it down near midfield. Send a long pass up the sideline. Sion racing after it. But again, Wooster comes down with it. Masucci, though. Nice pass into the middle.
Really nice pass. A chance now.
That will spring Olan. His shot is blocked out of bounds, and he will take a tumble, but that will set up a corner kick for Allegheny.
Well, the defense really got back in a hurry there. You're right about the defense here for the Fighting Scots.
So Reed on the corner. Tried to go with the back post, but it cleared away. Olan keeps it in. Back down the Reed off the corner, but he loses it.
Oh, now he's down.
Yeah, may have taken a kick to the ankle, a kick to the foot there. When
Looks like he's favored his right leg.
Battle for it on the sideline. Harkins sends a long one up. Lassane can't catch up to it, but it's headed back. And Olan, he's free. Tries to settle it down. And he'll get a rip.
And
a goal.
It's in there. Wow. Very nice play.
Olan created that one all himself. And the Gators are on the board.
Instead of a east and west move, he went north.
He really did.
Made some space.
I was surprised. We talked about how Wooster has been swarming to the ball on defense, but on that one, Olan was able to create some space, play keep away, and just let the bomb go.
He did a great job of, making the space. Yep.
So 3-1. Gators still in it here with a little over 10 minutes to go. That was Allegheny's 10th shot of the night. The Gators are still out shooting Wooster 10-8. That was Olan's first goal and first point of the season. He used to playing more of that defensive midfielder role, but as we see right there, he has the offensive.
Gave him a critical time.
He has the
Keep
prowess.
the game alive here.
It feels good to solve this Wooster defense. Three to 1, 9:45 left in regulation. The Gators looking for a big comeback here to end their home schedule on the high note. Ferrer will track it down. It's getting a little chilly, I think. Its temperature's dropped a bit, I believe, in the last half hour or so.
That's one time when it's no fun to be wet, when the temperature drops down like that.
Pass ahead to Burton. He'll control it just shy of the corner. Trying to go one-on-one. And it's won beautifully by Harkins out of bounds. But I think it will lead to the Wooster corner. Burton tried to get technical on Harkins, but Harkins was able to knock it away. It will still lead to the set piece here for the team in black. Looks like BJ Talley will take the corner here on the near side. And they will just settle it down and kind of play keep away with it. Fancy footwork, but a little too fancy as it gets knocked out of bounds.
Entering for your Gators, number 29, Alex Rio.
Rio back into the game for the Gators. He's been shuffled in and out of the lineup here tonight. Viable rookie. Harkins up to Sion. Sion, can he get past the defender? Makes a move. He'll send it to goal. It's knocked away by the defender, but right back to Sion. It will go out of bounds, and Allegheny will retain the throw. So, creative play there by John. Back to Harkins. He'll send the rip into the goal just over the crossbar.
Close.
Missed by inches to make this a 1-goal game as he just floated and it kept going and going. I think it surprised Collis in the net.
I saw the net fly up, but it was that practice net sitting behind the official goal.
False alarm. Harkins, he's been very adept at those long, creative shots. You can see it looks like the Gators are playing with more of an urgency on offense. They have a lot of guys up, but that could leave them susceptible here on defense. Burton looks to get a rip, but stolen away by Masucci, but he will lose it. Now Rochester retreat towards the corner. Good play by
defense.
Yep, very nice play. Sion was cut off for it. Lassane was almost sprung on a long pass there. Yeah, a lot more urgency from the Gators here with 6:28 left. McCursey.
A bad hop.
I think it surprised Liam how much it skipped on him. Sion battling on the sideline, a lot of contact, and the foul will be called on Wooster. That was a nice battle there between he and Cy. They may have both grabbed each other. I think you probably could have called a foul on either one of them on that time, but Gator fans are happy that it went the way it did. Opalka settles it down, crosses the field. Set towards the goal, but it's deflected out of bounds, and it will be a corner kick for the Gators. They're going to go quick, and they'll go with a short corner. And now he's sent towards the net, off the head of McCursey, over to Sion. Sion off the post!
That's the second one off the post. Wow. Nice offensive play.
That really was. I think it all started with the Gators catching Wooster off guard with that short corner. Sion inches away from making it a 1-goal game as we are at the 5-minute mark now in the second half. Nice flick ahead to Lassane, but he gets tangled up with it, and it will come back to Burton. Stolen away by Opalka. Opalka and Burton with the battle. It will come back to McCursey. 4:30 to go. Masucci up the far sideline to Danny Reed. Reed will send it towards goal. Again, he had Lassane there, but it's headed out nicely by Montalbano. And now it's put the goal and just off.
Another one close. Boy, that urgency that you mentioned before is very, very visible.
Another corner for Allegheny. 4 minutes to go. Playoff hopes are up in the air right now. Set the goal. And almost a rip at it, but it comes back out towards midfield. Owan, the goal scorer just moments ago, will send it in. A battle for it. Now back to Masucci. Now to Harkins. It's almost like, watching a hockey game when the goalie gets pulled. Gators doing everything they can to keep the ball in the offensive end.
And they're getting chances.
Up to Reed on the corner. Knocked away, but the Gators will get the throw. Reed will give it off, and I think they're going to set up another long throw from the far sideline. Toma gets it into Masucci, tries the header. Still loose. Reed goes up in the air for it, but Wooster clears it away. Harkins battling Nunez before it, and Wooster will come out with it. And Andreu has a lot of room up the sideline to run, and he'll flick it up to Burton. Burton has had a big game for Wooster tonight, gets bumped from behind, and a foul will be called on Allegheny. And that will set up a set piece here. The free kick from just in front of the corner. So you would think that they will treat this almost as if it's a corner kick offense. Rochester setting up to take it. And a foul, I believe, is called on Wooster, so no scoring chance results on that one. Excuse me.
One more time, Allegheny on the attack. 2 minutes and 4 seconds in the game.
After that third Wooster goal, Allegheny has really been impressive in the offensive end. Paid off with the one goal from Olan. Now with under 2 minutes to go, they need 2 more. McCursey tiptoes on the sidelines to keep that one in.
Good job.
Over on the far side to Danny Reed. McCursey may have gotten away with a handball, but no whistle. Sion into the middle, crossing it over. The Gators keep it inbounds. Lassane back to Reed. Now it's put on goal, and a great save by Collis. Almost carried him into the goal.
His hand hit the post.
Whew.
Looked like his left hand banged into the post, just inches away from the goal.
So another fantastic scoring chance from the Gators, but now we're at a minute left.
1 minute remaining in regulation. 1 minute.
Headed back to Ferreira.
That ball turned around quickly.
Despite the score, 3-1 in favor of Wooster, this has been a very evenly played game, and I must say Allegheny has had the better of the play here in the last 10 to 15 minutes.
They sure have.
Into the corner, nothing. But that's Wooster defense. Again, continuing its impressive play.
Whoa, a slip.
I wouldn't think that a wet track would be good for soccer spikes. As it's starting to rain a little bit more. Now Ferreira comes way out of the net to intercept it at midfield. And he'll send it towards goal. Lassane may have gotten a flick on it. Now it's to Sion. Sion waiting, controlling, sends a boot in, but it goes wide. So we're at 10 seconds, and I think that was the last shot of the night.
6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
So despite the late rally by Allegheny, fun game to watch, but Wooster comes out of it with the 3-1 win.
Thank you for joining us today.
Dwayne, what are your thoughts on the action tonight?
What a great game. Boy, I was very impressed by Allegheny's hustle and way to get that attack going whenever they got their energy there at the end. Just didn't quite work out.
Yeah, just a couple quick goals from Wooster. All 3 of them really were pretty quick goals. So Allegheny will drop to 6-9-2 on the season, 2-4-2 in the NCAC. Worcester 8-6-2. They win their 4th in a row. They are now 4-3-1. We thank you for watching us on Armstrong Cable and Gators TV. Dwayne, it was a pleasure. Thank you, sir.
My pleasure, too. Best wishes to you.
For Allegheny Gators TV, this is Jim Berger. Thanks for tuning in.